testament to what can be achieved when you dress appropriately. Let's pound it out.
It's hard to see now because of how successful it became, but when trailers like
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is honestly one of the funniest shows I have ever watched. I have seen that show from beginning to end like a bunch of times. I swear the actor that plays Captain Holt, I forget his like actual name. Didn't he die? Like not recently, but like last year or something like that. I feel like I saw that somewhere. R.I.P.
inspire a lot of confidence. The series looked like a rehash of some of the oldest and tiredest tropes in the police comedy genre, and the presence of Andy Samberg just made it all seem like an uninspired Saturday Night Live sketch, so nobody was expecting much. Turns out though, subverting expectations would be exactly what made Brooklyn Nine-Nine a classic.
Bing pot. Nope, I was gonna say bingo, but then I was like, jackpot's better. But then
It's a
it was too
classic.
late.
I ain't even gonna lie. I'd say this should be in the conversation for GOAT television series. This should be in the conversation for GOAT TV show. And I will die on that hill. Argue with me. Argue with me.
Once Andy Samberg, fresh off his 7-year run on SNL, signed on to star as Detective Jake Peralta, the show had a smooth ride through the development process. But when the first commercials started to drop, audiences weren't quite sure what to think.
What's wrong with you?
Never took off the Speedo. Big mistake. It is inside me.
Those early glimpses seemed to hint at a series where a cocky, young, white hotshot policeman outsmarts his mostly minority colleagues while playing juvenile pranks on his stodgy old superior. It sort of looked like someone had just cast Samberg in the Steve Guttenberg role from Police Academy, filed off
Never
the
heard of
serial
it.
numbers, and then lazily made a series of it. And when the show itself premiered, the opening minutes of its pilot, which depicts Peralta gleefully cracking jokes while his Latina partner, Detective Amy Santiago, diligently works to unravel a case he's already solved, mostly through luck, didn't do much to dispel the impression. But by the end of that first episode, it was very clear that Brooklyn Nine-Nine was just setting our expectations so it could knock them all down. In fact, the show would quickly come to be known for deliberately and cleverly subverting widely held expectations of sitcoms and cop stories, as well as the racial stereotypes and traditional notions of masculinity those stories usually rest on.
A year ago, my wife and I had twin baby girls. They have adorable chubby cheeks. Ever since, I kind of got scared of getting hurt.
The police action usually just provided a framework for reinventing the types of characters and relationships we're used to seeing, and it was all pretty apparent right from the pilot. The first episode found the titular precinct being assigned a new commanding officer, the stoic and extremely formal Captain Raymond Holt. But Peralta's casual attitude, attire, and general disregard for procedure immediately puts him on Holt's bad side. Over the course of the story, the young detective makes several attempts to prove how effective he is, despite being a rule breaker. And he is, in fact, pretty good at his job.
Does anyone here know why it's so important to me that you all dress appropriately? Four highly trained detectives and not one of you can solve this simple mystery.
Peralta realizes the captain is right, and his disregard for procedure, specifically his refusal to wear a tie, just alienates his fellow detectives and prevents him from really being part of his team.
It's a uniform. We're a team, and the tie is a part of that team's uniform, right?
Characters on the show usually treat each other like people with feelings and react to each other with compassion and an openness to growth. At least they do when it really matters. So instead of spending the stories barking at the hero like a typical angry black chief character, the kind so brilliantly skewered in the previous year's 21 Jump Street reboot,
It ain't nothing but a stupid stereotype. Well, guess what, motherfuckers? I'm black, and I work my ass off to be the captain. And sometimes I get angry.
Holt becomes a mentor and father figure to Jake.
Side note, I love 21 Jump Street. That movie is that movie's funny as fuck too. 21 Jump Street's a hilarious movie.
Nice work.
Good. Thanks, Dad.
You just called Captain Holt Dad.
What? No, I didn't. I said thanks, man.
I believe you,
Thank you.
Son.
son. You want to talk about it later?
Over a game catch?
Game of catch?
Yo, this show's funny as fuck. This man said, I believe you, son.
He's even there to tell Jake he's proud of him after Jake comes to terms how terrible his real father was in the emotional second season episode, Captain Peralta. And Holt is far from being the only typically stereotypical
And I love that scene. The one with the two pictures here. This one's a garbage dump in the Philippines, and one of them is a garbage dump in the Philippines, and the other one is your locker. Can you tell which is which? And then Jake goes, That was a dumb. They're both your locker.
Character in the ensemble to be so fully realized. Detective Rosa Diaz is held out as the usual tight-lipped, tough-as-nails cop.
Don't smile, I'm still mad at you.
I thought we were having a moment.
Moment's over, shut up.
But has a hidden sensitive side that opens the door to some surprisingly deep relationships.
I've only had Arlo for a day and a half. But if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Rosa is slowly revealed to be a doting friend to Jake, who in turn is there to support her when she comes out as bisexual to her parents in the season 5 episode, Game Night. The confession doesn't go over well, but Jake is there for his longtime friend regardless.
I'm bisexual.
There's no such thing as being bisexual.
Yes, there is. I know there is because that's who I am.
Similarly, despite his intimidating physique, Sergeant Terry Jeffords is depicted as a big-hearted family man and a true friend to Jake when he really needs one. His sweet nature makes it especially painful when he's racially profiled by another cop in the season 4 episode Moo Moo. And even though Holt initially counsels him not to report the incident, the whole squad unequivocally supports him. Jake and Amy even find themselves trying to explain racism to his daughters in one of the whole series' most affecting scenes.
A cop did a bad thing and tried to get your daddy in trouble.
Because Daddy's black?
Yeah,
That's scary.
it is scary. But that cop was wrong and what he did was bad.
Surprisingly tender relationships between unusually deep characters became one of the major hallmarks of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Despite being a critical darling, the show was never exactly a ratings powerhouse, so Brooklyn Nine-Nine could have easily turned out to be a flash in the pan. But its subversive treatment of the stereotypes and the unique, heartfelt relationships those subversions enabled deeply endeared it to its fan base. So when Fox canceled the show in 2018, hundreds of thousands of those fans, including celebrities like Guillermo del Toro, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and Mark Hamill, staged a massive social media campaign to save it. Campaigns like that don't always work, but this one did, and NBC picked up the show for another season. Then Chairman Robert Greenblatt even publicly expressed regret that the network had allowed the series to slip away to Fox in the first place. Brooklyn Nine-Nine would ultimately be renewed twice more, finally ending in a shortened 8th season in 2021.
The one thing you couldn't figure out was how to grow up. Well, I think you finally figured it out.
The point is that by 2013, a show about a juvenile hotshot white guy cop with an angry black chief and a bunch of wacky, often minority co-workers sounded cringe-inducingly old-fashioned, and it shouldn't have worked.
Let's go arrest that punk.
He says punk just like you.
What do you think he learned it? Punk.
But by refusing to force its
Yeah, nah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine's such a funny show.
incredibly diverse cast into the stereotypical roles and character tropes usually assigned to them, the series was able to create an ensemble of characters
And Terry Jeffords, or sorry, that's his name in the show. Terry Crews, the actor, fam, his role in White Chicks was so funny when he's in the car and the song says "Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and I need you. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun." Yeah, that shit's funny as fuck. I can't even lie, that shit's funny as fuck.
unlike anything audiences could find anywhere else. That meant Brooklyn Nine-Nine could teach its audience important real-world lessons in today's world while getting a laugh.
See, I think a show that could do that is honestly a really good show. If you could balance tackling like real world problems and actually like teaching your audience or attempting to teach your audience through an episode or like through your show, but like are still able to maintain that comedy level and how funny it is, yeah, that's a fire show. Like, you did a good job. I ain't even gonna lie. This show's funny as fuck.
So what do